Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to another week in review. I hope you all are well. And on this September evening, I'm just going to get right into it. If you missed it, you can always watch the replay on Instagram, or you can watch it on YouTube, which will be uploaded right after this, and some clips on Twitter. And maybe some on TikTok. So here it is. I always start with coronavirus because we're still in the midst of a global pandemic that we seem to never get out of. It's almost like an endemic, right? Ladies and gentlemen, yep. So according to the Johns Hopkins University and Medicine website, Coronavirus Resource Center, the global confirmed cases for COVID is 607,967,382. So once again, the global confirmed cases are 607,967,382. The global death toll is 6,512,827. The U.S. confirmed cases are 95,224,801. U.S. death toll is 1,050,286. So again, the global confirmed cases are 607,967,382. The global death toll is 6,512,827. U.S. confirmed cases is 95,224,801. And the death toll here at home in the U.S. is 1,050,282. So almost at 1.1 million people dead from COVID in the United States of America. Keep in mind, we are 4.2% of the world's population. But we account for 25% of the cases out of all the 100, almost 200 and something countries that have COVID cases, confirmed COVID cases. Vaccination doses, 96,278 million Americans received their dose within the last 7 days. But overall, 224.4 million Americans are fully vaccinated. So that is 68% of the world population. 68% of the country's population. How sorry my words, I'm tired. So with over 600 million cases worldwide, 6.5 million deaths, almost 100 million cases here at home in the U.S., and almost 1.1 million people dead. And yet only 68% of our country is vaccinated. And the president's goal is 70%, which to get to herd immunity, I highly doubt it. With the re-emergence of polio and now monkeypox, maybe smallpox may pop up somewhere. And people still don't want to be safe and take safety precautions. I'm tired of telling people to go get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's fine. But you know that you're not safe from COVID, like everybody's not. Even when you're vaccinated, you're not as safe. But you know, when you do get COVID, it prevents you from being in the hospital on a ventilator. So when you do catch it, you only have mild symptoms versus someone that is not vaccinated, that is not wearing their mask. It's one thing you're not vaccinated and you're wearing your mask and you're practicing everything. That's fine at this point. But if you're just being reckless out here and not caring and not practicing the safety measures, and I'm not even talking about just getting vaccinated, you still got to wear your mask. And you got to keep your distance from people. You can't do that, then it's just sad at this point. And then we got the re-emergence of polio. Polio has not even been around since my parents were children. And my parents are almost 70. And then it's monkeypox. And just to be clear, it's not a gay man's disease. Monkeypox is everyone's problem. If your clothes is dirty, if your sheets is dirty, that's why you should wash your sheets every week or every 2 weeks, at the most. Because it comes from dirty, infected things. And it lives on your surfaces for like at least 15 days. That's 2 weeks and some change. Or maybe a little longer. That's why they urge people to go get freaking vaccinated. That's why this monkeypox things need to be available to everybody. But I digress. I would like to say this to people. At this point, you need to practice safety measures. You need to get vaccinated, wear your mask, and keep your distance. And if you can't afford so much stuff, if you live near a hospital or a public place that has masks, is giving free masks, you get the free mask and you wear it. Request 2, just in case. I mean, at this point, it's the survival of the fittest. We're living in a Darwin theory era right now. So if you want to be reckless out here, not practicing safety measures, not even sanitizing your fucking hands, or any of that, you will have some problems. And that's all I'm saying. But on to other things. So I believe the president signed the Inflation Reduction Act. You can actually look on the website and look at the details because I've read it before. But it's a very good bill. It also tackles climate change and it reduces the amount of, what is spent on gas and, other products that we need and yada, 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 yada. It's a good bill. But that's all I have to say. I really don't have much to say about that. All I know is the president signed it. And also, the White House released the portraits of the Obamas because they came back to the White House and they released their pictures. And it was really nice. I love the portraits. The portraits look amazing. It looks good. I mean, the former president, the forever FLOTUS, they look rejuvenated and look happy, stress-free. Skin is tight. Their skin was never wrinkled, but running the country ages you. Because people are stressful. Congress, in particular. And the judicial branch, the Supreme Court. So, there you have it. Now, everybody's waiting for this meat of the stuff. I'm almost done. Okay, so the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, passed away Thursday. Her health was failing at a time, which I'm not surprised. When Prince Philip was deceased, I knew Elizabeth was going to join him because some people, get sick of a broken heart. We don't know what the cause of the death is because the autopsy didn't come out yet, but I'm assuming she died from a broken heart because that happens when people miss their spouse. He died less than a year ago. So, it's fresh and it's still new. That was her husband. She loved him and that was it. That was it. So now since she's deceased, of course, the son, her oldest son, Charles, is now King Charles. And I guess Camilla is the queen. And his eldest son, William, and his wife, Kate, are now Prince and Princess of Wales. And the good thing, though, is King Charles named his two youngest grandchildren, which is Prince Harry's children, the prince and princesses. You knew that was going to happen. He still loves his children. I guess he wants to make things right. But I have choice words, and I'm going to air them out. I was never a big fan of King Charles after what he did to his first wife, forever Princess of Wales, Princess Diana. How he treated her, how he cheated on her with the Queen. And when she passed away, he didn't really say much. I don't remember him saying much, because I remember when she died. It was devastating to the whole entire world. It was. And this man chose that rotten English muffin of a woman to be the woman on his side. But I digress. So now that, William is the prince and his wife is the princess, she's being blown up to this iconic person, comparing her to Princess Diana. I'm going to say this, and it may hurt some people, but if you don't like this message, you don't have to watch. Princess Kate will never be forever Princess Diana of Wales. It's a fact. When Princess Diana was alive, Princess Diana was an empathetic person. She was authentic. And everything she did it with class. Whether it was not popular amongst the royals, she did everything with class. And then one of the most greatest moments that I've learned talking with my mom and doing some reading and everything. No, I did not watch The Crown. She came up to Harlem during the 1980s, and it was rough. It was rough at the time. There was drugs, crack, cocaine, killings, crime was up. It was everything that was going on in Harlem, especially where the hospital that she went to was at, because it was north of 125th Street. So anything above 125th Street, if you're from Harlem, it's pretty rough up there, especially in the 1980s. She visited the AIDS unit for the young children that were living with AIDS and that was basically sick and dying from AIDS at the time, because their parents either abused drugs or was in a relationship with a man that was already infected. We don't know the case. It could be either the two. And she sat with doctors. She, inquired and asked, and she wanted to see the children. And next thing you know, she hugs them and holds them. She said, who's going to love them? Who's going to care for them? Because no one did not want to adopt the children because they were sick with AIDS, because it was the stigma at the time. I mean, look who was the president in the 80s when there was the height of AIDS. It was Ronald Reagan, and George H.W. Bush was his vice president. And when George H.W. Bush became the president back in 1989, he still didn't really say much about the virus itself. So there was still that stigma. So she hugged those kids, even though she didn't have no gloves on and whatever. She hugged them, because education teaches you can hug or shake hands with somebody that has AIDS, and you can't get infected, as long as they don't have an open wound, right? You can't get infected. So right then and there, everybody was like, oh, she showed empathy to the children. And also on that trip, she visited the Henry Street settlement, which is Lower Manhattan, which is right on Henry Street, 265 Henry Street, and visited a women's shelter. And it was mostly black women in the shelter. And she was talking to them and, greeting their children and hugging their children. And then years later, she went to Cook County in Chicago, where it's also another, rough neighborhood. Predominantly, was pretty lit up. But overall, I just want to sum this up. I just want to give a background synopsis. Even though how can I word this? So I'm going to just give a disclaimer. To all the stands of Princess Kate of Wales. If you don't like this video, I suggest you don't watch. Princess Kate of Wales will never be Princess Diana of Wales. She will never amount to the authentic, empathetic personality of Princess Diana. Why? Because Kate seems to feel uncomfortable around black people. I mean, if you look at the pictures of her greeting the kids from the gate in Jamaica, coming up to Harlem to a charter school instead of going to a public school to greet children, and you came with your husband. You never went anywhere really too much by yourself from the pictures in the press I've seen. So I'm going to reiterate this again. To all the people in the back, to all the people that don't want to watch this video and that are stands of the new Princess of Wales, I suggest that you just pass on by. Princess Kate of Wales will never be the forever Princess of Wales, Diana. She will never ever amount to the greatness, to the empathy, to the stature, to the grace and class of forever Princess Diana of Wales. Princess Diana was an empathetic person. She was an authentic and real person. Everything she did was out of raw emotions, class, and dignity. Kate, everything is just dry. She's just a dry person. And there's nothing wrong with being a dry person. But comparing her to Princess Diana is a hell no. Kate is not really a lively person. Kate is not really a social light. Kate is just a dry person. She is. And if you have a problem with me calling her a dry person, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you just need to go seek your own salvation. Because I'm not praising white mediocrity. That has never been me, and that will never be me. I mean, seriously. And speaking to the stands of the royals. So, half of them trolled me mostly all day. Not even, saying anything wrong. I could say the things in the most modest way, and people still find some type of reason to Yeah, they really be trying, Queen. So I'm gonna pull these things up because y'all know I got screenshots and shit for days. So here it is. So after my original tweet, it says, back in the 1980s, Princess Diana came to New York to visit the pediatric AIDS unit at Harlem Hospital Center. As you see, she's interactive with the children living with AIDS. She was a real one. Kate and Camilla can never be empathetic as forever Princess Diana, which is true. Because I never seen Camilla visit anybody. That's another one. I got choice words for that one. But let me read these people first. So one said, Diana is a hard act to follow, but Kate may surprise you. She's been married to William for like almost 10 years. What has she done? Please let me know. One has Kate hugging kids. As you can see, half of those kids are, they look uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Queen, you funny. Another is, sorry, but please don't hate on our royal family. We all love Princess Diana, and we also love Kate, who works very hard for our country, and Diana would love that she make her son happy. This other one account, I got screenshots of his racism. The focus is on the passing of a woman who for 70 years served and upheld her oath. Enough of your crap. Be respectful for 70 minutes to fine woman who should be an example of greatness to you. An example of greatness to me is my mother from Utahville, South Carolina. But I digress. So people tried me today. Another is, like you said, she doesn't want to be Princess Diana. If you have a problem with that, that's your problem. Another is, you're right. She is not Diana. She's a wonderful woman in her own right with a hard job as well. But she has the support of her husband. Now I think there's last one. Somebody said, how long will until Meghan Markle makes the Queen's death all about herself? She never did. Last time I checked. And this is an interesting one. You can't hate every white person because you're black. You can't every black person because you are white. Hate, I guess. People are not their color. They are their essence. I got something to say to these stands. So my original tweet was honoring Princess Diana of Wales because it's almost her 25th anniversary of her death. It's around this time that she died. So I was honoring all the great things that she has done. And I just said Kate and Camilla will never be her. They're not. They're different. They're not as empathetic and they're not as outgoing as she is. But I digress. So to you stands out here who keep trolling me, I would like to let y'all know that you guys are culturally incompetent. Because if you was culturally competent, you would not be coming in my mentions telling me to respect a white woman because she has greatness and I have to, follow that example. No, the fuck I don't. The only woman I honor who is my role model is my mother. And my mother is from rural ass South Carolina. I don't need to look at no other white woman, and there's no disrespect to the queen. The queen did some great things, even though she has some problematic things that she has done, which was seen in the public. But the last time I checked, I don't have to honor anyone's greatness because they were a certain title. My mother is my example. But I'm going to digress again. So to all the stance of Kate, Camilla, and the Queen, and there's no disrespect to the Queen, because I say may she rest, I don't have to honor anybody I don't want to. And that includes the damn Queen herself. May she rest in peace. Again. The only person I'm honoring is my mama. Because why? Because she raised me. And she told me on the phone that I could honor my mother and my mother only, and that's her. I don't have to respect shit. I don't have to respect a goddamn thing. If that includes the princess and the queen, and the new queen in particular, so be it. But I want you guys to stay out of my goddamn mentions. And this is the last goddamn time. Because I have all the time in the world. All the time in the world to expose your racism. And to the stance of Camilla. I don't respect Camilla at all. I don't. And I have my reasons. But to the royal stance again. Let me just say this. I don't have to respect no one. That includes the new queen, the new princess. I don't have to respect shit. And for the last fucking time, I said nothing bad about Queen Elizabeth. I said nothing wrong. She may have been the queen and she may have did some good things, but she did have a problematic past. She was the queen during apartheid. She was. And I don't know if she spoke too much on apartheid because I haven't heard really anything last time I checked. And also, the royal family overall has a problem with the fact that there is a black person in their family, and that person's name is Meghan Markle. And they're also mad at the fact that their grandchildren, the children in their family, has 33% black in them. They can't help who they are. Their mother couldn't help who she was. So if you have a problem with me speaking facts and speaking truth, you can kiss my ass because I said what I said. Now on to reading more people. So my AG this week, along with the DA, the Manhattan DA, got Steve Bannon to turn his fucking self in. I mean, it's time. It's time. And the DA basically had a whole laundry list and did their case, and I believe appointed a special prosecutor for this particular case to do all the investigations before they made their final move. And the DA, along with the AG, worked together as a team. And they're both former colleagues and friends. But of course, it was never enough for Do Something Twitter. Never enough. They didn't really bash my AG. They praised her, but did not praise the DA. So here's the thing. The DA, the Manhattan DA, and the AG worked together on this case. They acknowledged the partnership. They acknowledged the hard work they've done. And of course, there's more things that need to be done, and they will get Donald Trump. But you guys want microwavable justice for only one particular reason, but you want to, rush black people in jail. But want microwavable justice because you feel like your family members will vote for this particular person again. That is your fucking problem. If Donald Trump goes to jail today or tomorrow, it's not going to cure racism. It is still going to be here because your family members support that man, and his supporters are so invested in him, they will believe everything he said. They will even jump off the cliff if he said jump. They will jump. So, to the Do Something Twitters of the world. That's the Tristan Snells of the world. That is, a couple other you big accounts that don't know how to shut the hell up and don't know how the process works. Or some that do know and just continue to lie. Tristan, we're talking to you. I'm going to need for y'all to keep my DA's name out your mouth along with my AG's name out your mouths. And if you guys don't like the fact that I'm telling y'all to shut up, then I don't know what to tell y'all. Because Donald Trump will eventually get prosecuted and will be indicted to go to jail. Everything can't happen fast. Prosecuting a white collar crime takes time. Tristan should know that. So, once again, I'm going to need for y'all to shut the hell up. Do something, Twitter. Find something to do. But until then, I'm tired. You guys have a lovely night. Take care of yourself. Yeah. Yep, we'll lose again. But you guys have a lovely night and take care of yourself.